Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with DVD. How are you doing? So, this is going to be, I know I'm late. Been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump out. I told y'all, since I was doing the videos exceptionally more on time when I was out for the summer. But like I said, those workers, the content creators that work and do videos at the same time, hats off to you. However, I'm not that lady. I do the best I can on the weekends, okay? So, and plus, I don't have Bravo. I have to catch it on Peacock. But I catch the real deal, honey, because they be cussing. And I like a little cuss. My ears ain't so sensitive to cussing. I'm not religious, and even when I was religious, my ears weren't sensitive to cussing. So anyway, the episode starts off like it normally does. I mean, everybody is talking about what they've been doing and how they've been doing, and Andy goes to the back, a thing that Carlos King has now started to copy. Now, we as in the black culture, we like to say we started a lot of things, but I have to disagree with America on this one. I think Andy started that. So they get out to the couch. Once they tell what they've been doing and how they have been doing, Pinky said, the only B word that I want to talk about is I'm having a baby. Which, spoiler alert, we already knew because Claudia said somebody on the B team was having a baby. We all figured out that it was Pinky because of what Dustin said about her having on a black dress. So I went back and watched that watch what happened live episode, and then I did notice that she was indeed having a baby. Congratulations to her. And that girl's probably gonna stay pregnant up into her 50s, the way things are going with her. What y'all think about that? So then they get to Drew, and Drew is like, he said, you looking exceptionally well different, because, Drew got a booty now. So he was like, what's going on with you? And so she goes on to say that she had a little nip tuck, and he said, well, how's that going? And she goes on to say that it's not leaking, so I think it's good. Shade early shade, but standing in your shade. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything wrong with what she said, in my opinion, because look at how K. Michelle has treated her throughout this whole entire season. We find out that Phaedra is running for office. I mean, she'd be great, a great politician. I mean, look at how well she did on Traitors. That's political in a way. And then she is a lawyer, and Jasmine Crockett was a lawyer. So this is a scene that they did not show on the show. I would prefer that scene over her taking the kid to the prom. I'm sorry. I like Mr. President and the Prince, but I would have rather to have seen something real that she has going on. And they should have shown that in the show. And Charles was able to see San Antonio versus New York in person, whereas had they played in New York, he wouldn't have been able to go because he's banned from the Garden. So Angela's mind, clearly that's in her mind. She thinks that they won because of Charles. No, they really closed this shit out. The only game they lost was when Dump the Dump came. Oh, and that dress was indeed marvelous, darling. Marvelous. I saw that dress. I was like, what the hell? How creative. I've never seen anything like that before. Not that I'm aware of. Now, I am old, so I could have in a long, long time ago days. But recently, no. So, Black. Let's analyze the situation with Black and Drew. I think they do have a connection. I definitely felt that from them. However, it'll be an easy way out of that because, I mean, I think he's I think he's done what he's been accused of. So I don't think Drew needs to get involved with any more schemers and scammers like her ex-husband child. So I think she'll be able to move on. Well, according to K. Michelle, since she hopped in, they'll be running from the police. Because Drew said she has kids, right? Analyze. You ready? Now, everybody who's on Team B side are saying only person that chimed in was Angela. Bullshit. Bullshit. That whole couch. Every time A team had something to say, B side was chiming in. So y'all could cancel that. Because you know Angela is my girl, because she reminds me of a mixture of Sheree and Nene. So I was never crazy about Nene itself for season 1 and 2, but my point is nostalgia. There they go chiming in from the B side. SHEMEA did ask her, had she invested in Black's business? But they don't chime in though, right? I say that because everybody was so angry at Angela. There's Kelly chiming in. But she's chiming in due to the fact that Drew did indeed go to her business to let people know that her brick and mortar was closed. Kelly, I would have loved to have seen you work on your business more. It seemed as though as things shifted. We did see you at the Chicken and Waffles place a couple of times, but it seems to me that things kind of shifted, and we ended up more so worrying about what the girl's going to be able to film, because it's like you were putting your eggs in one basket. And we all know that the B side, really, with the exception of K. Michelle, is kind of teeter-tottering on the edge of not returning. I want them to return, but you know, they have been getting a lot of backlash. And Drew got her, you know, she was like, you came for my singing first. So, yeah, that is true. Then she said, well, I'm very successful, because that doesn't matter, bother me. Are you though? Are you very successful? I think, let me put on my psychology hat, darling. Now, the views expressed are those of me only, and it's only my opinion, a professional side of my opinion. I think that Kelly has a very delusional spirit. So they bring up the plastic surgery, and Kelly says she has the P. Willie special. Again, I don't like Portia. I just don't like that whole airhead, dumb broad ass image. But then you can run around and chase people in the parking lot and try to beat them up. But I will say this. I looked back at several episodes, and even though her and Drew had their tiff, I could still say I don't think Drew was just running out up and behind her, because from day one, Drew and Portia hit it out. The problem was Kenya. Drew tried to come for Kenya like, you know, Britt Edie did. She didn't take it as far as Britt. But I think from looking at past seasons, she was Team Portia, always. And I want to say Drew went to some of her weddings, and she did tell on Portia's special, when she went down there and threw that boom mic at them people. I want to say Drew showed up on one of the episodes on there, and they were talking about her relationship with Simon. And Drew did not say a whole lot, because she was conflicted, because she believes in marriage, and she did. She was coolish with Fallon, but again, there was a relationship there prior to this whole A team, B team stuff, and people thinking that Drew is all up Portia's behind. So, K. Michelle got him when she said we shouldn't body shame. And Kelly's like, and you up here talking about licky booty? Exactly. And then they all sitting up there denying work. When Portia said we about here work done, Pink said it's a natural pancake over here. And she said, well, you an anomaly. And Kelly says, I hadn't had my body done. Girl, the way them titties are sitting up on your chest about to choke your throat. Gone somewhere. Come on, Drew, with the... She said, when she said I got my boobs done, she said you should get them undone. I know that's right. So, favorite moments. And Pinky says her argument with Angela. I mean, I think Pinky was a good sport about that whole thing. Don't do it, Papa Smurf. Not the way those teeth are combing. I could throw a rock and hit 10 people. You out. Well, that sums all that up. And I'm not mad at her for taking it on the chin with a grain of salt. It was cute. So Portia is in love, and she's in love with a woman, even though she bashed the lesbians. I will forever stay on her neck about that. And will. But she goes on to say that Sway is cool, and she likes the fact that Sway doesn't compete with her in business, which means show business. And she just laid back, and she's not really into TV, except for the fact that she does the country Wayne skits. But hey, just neither here nor there. So now all of a sudden, Dixel Dollar Diane supports the gays, child. And that lazy against lazy relationships, it had to come from somewhere, dog. And I believe it came from Dixel Dollars. But she wasn't getting all the dollars that she wanted from the menses, honey. So, and you know you get the money, ain't the money for the pussy. That's what our friends say, and I say. I'm with SHEMEA. She was throwing shade. She was kind of being facetious. However, I agree with her. She said that they were in a bad place. What the fuck else was I supposed to say? I'm with her when she right. So they got on primary custody, and they was talking about how, you know, Drew couldn't really talk about her case, but Phaedra explained what primary custody is, and the primary parent does receive child support. Simple, 1, 2, 3. I mean, Ralph is an a-hole. I mean, he takes pride in taking his old lady or former old lady to court. That's always with men like him and Motel Hotel, because they're one and the same. They take pride in just doing the jabs. As much as they can stick it to their former wives, they're going to, because they don't like the fact that they left. They want these submissive women who's going to stay. Martell mainly really thought that he was going to have and continue to have his wife and his girlfriend. So we talk about the lawyer thing about Dennis finding Ralph a lawyer. Portia took it as a self thing. I don't know where she fit in there, because she's saying that, you know, fuck Ralph, because, you know, it made it seem like he had to fight for custody when Dennis didn't. I think Dennis did find him the lawyer, though. And I think he was also using his misogynistic powers for evil. Then they bring up the house. You know what I think about the house? I don't believe that it should still be brought up that it's Simon's house. It is. Not anymore, because they've gone to court about it. It seems like it's still a lot for Portia. It's a lot to take on, in my opinion. Because, I mean, I know it's huge and has all these amenities that rich folks love, but it seems like almost even a quagmire, because it's adding to the pressures of trying to keep it up. Portia got her. Don't worry about me living in Simon's house when you living in SHEMEA's house. Good one. So we're going back and forth. Makes no sense. They were doing too much talking at once. Nothing but Angela jumps in and says, well, whose name is on your deed? And at least when you sold it. And then she said sell a house and, and declared things up. What was in foreclosure was her investment properties. So Portia admits that they dated, that Phaedra and her dated the same guy. It was Mike. No big deal. That's when a pipe up comes in and says, I expected the same courtesy when I was dating the guy, Ganache. And then Portia was making a point that he absolutely had nothing to do with her. They were trying to get to know each other on the show. And that's when the whole miscarriage conversation comes up about, was it a miscarriage? And still, I have to say, I think after they had talked about it, after Portia had explained that she had babies and one of her babies was a rainbow baby, she had miscarriages, she could see how that would make her feel some type of way, K. Michelle. But at the same time, I just say what I always said. I mean, they both were having issues with maternity. And K. Michelle admitted that she was trying to have another baby. So I can see how that could have been confusing. I guess she maybe had forgotten about the leaky booty thing. It could have been her leaky vagina instead. I'm just saying. Now see, this is how people like Portia. And she is funny because she did a good job of mocking K. Michelle. Okay, girl, thank you for telling me. She do chop up her words like that. That was funny. So Kay brings up the interview and she told her that she was being fed in the interview and she wasn't paying attention. Portia said, I'm a real motherfucker. I ain't all that media trained. And we can tell. Yeah, we can tell, but Carlos did say that the only person that was really, really real, including you, K. Michelle, was Kelly. Behind the scenes, T. Carlos threw shade at K. Michelle for that statement. So Portia and Kay started going back and forth. They were going good with each other because, Portia said, I have lived. She said, a lot of life. And she said, close your glory hole. And then she was talking about her body, which, that's a sore subject for Kay. And Portia also said that, Kay said, stop trying to be the star that you're not. And then Portia told her, well, you stop being friends when you start trying to be friends with the B team. Well, it's gonna look like K. Michelle, like SHEMEA said. It seems like she's jumping ship because it seemed like she was firmly on the B team. But on this couch, she says things to let you know she's cool with a lot of people on the other side now, with the exception of Drew. That was a fool, right? About the sausage hanging in people's faces. And then he was like, well, what if he does cheat? Well, she said she wasn't going to let a few jugs come between her marriage. That's on you, baby. That's on you. Just touch on K. Michelle and her implant situation. The doctor is still performing on people in the Atlanta area. Be wary of stuff like that. If you're going to get things sucked and tucked and pulled, do your research. I do have a friend of mine whose daughter had a nip and a tuck, had a mommy makeover, and she did indeed pass. So I just don't play with surgery. If it's not 100% necessary, I don't do it, because for years, my arm had been bothering me. I could barely raise it. I could barely put it down. It was times where I thought that it was like cysts. But it ended up actually being a third breast, so I had to have that removed because I couldn't hardly move my arm. Baby, it's no electives. I just have to run around here with my pregnancy belly and my stretch marks. I don't care if it's Dr. DeBro and Dr. Nassif. I ain't doing it. So we get on Kay and her letting things get in her head. She wished she had done things differently. She says there were outside sources. I do know that just because SHEMEA said last season that she was trying to build alliances, I can't say for sure, for certain, that she didn't try to sway K. Michelle onto her team. And I think that things naturally progressed as time went on for her to lean towards the B side. But K. Michelle don't want to be on the B side because she's cool with Phaedra now. And then she's cool with Ansel because she realizes the B side could probably get this album sold, in my opinion. Okay, so Andy is trying to lead her into having regrets about running to Twitter instead of telling the girls how she felt in person, because she named the beautician, she named Ganache, and she named some other people that was trying to get into her head about how the ladies were on the show. But she said she never called anybody to find out about them. Sometimes you do that. I mean, I've had friends ask things about me in the small town we live in. I'm in the Bible Belt, so people don't want certain people who go to certain churches to be friends with me because I'm not religious. So, baby, I understand. I'm like, if your Jesus can take you away from this friendship, this awesome friend that I am, loyal to a fault, have at it, baby. Go on. And let Jesus lead you, honey. But as far as the tweet goes and her running the Twitter, she said that that was just a thing that's cathartic to her. And like I've told people, for me, it's writing on Facebook because you get to write so much. And I wrote this long story about, my best friend and, and my children's father, because the two people that gave me so much in life, I lost. He gave me my children. And for them not to even know anything but stories that I have to tell, and I only have like about 4 years worth of stories to tell, is something, because he knew me always. I didn't know him as much as he knew me because me and his sister were friends. So I just knew him as her annoying little brother. And as we got older, his attention was directed towards me, but I still didn't really know him until after we started dating, in my opinion, about us. But I can definitely understand, why they would ask, because I've done that before. And like I said, people have done it to me. Well, Andy raised the church finger at her and tried to, chastise her about it like he did Candace. The only caveat is I wondered, did he strike them checks like he did Candace? So they asked Kay, did she have some kind of loyalty to the B side? And she was like, well, she didn't want them to feel ganged up on, because in certain ways that they were. And then Angela asked a good question about who. Who's ganging up on you, Kay? Who's ganging up on SHEMEA? I guess they feel like the 18 was ganging up on her. But in a lot of those instances, I really believe, and this is my opinion, that SHEMEA kind of gave as good as she got. She could have been, instead of going through Kay and instead of going through Kelly and then all these people speak for her, I think she should have been more open and direct, which was, to me, what Angela was trying to get her to do. You got issues with Angela. With Portia. You taking them out on me and Drew. Drew mostly. And then Drew was, after that, Drew was everybody's punching bag on the B side. Kelly, you know it's true. So Drew asked, why did you say things like, no one wants to be friends with K. Michelle? And I knew that was the case. I never confused her talking about them versus the girls out in the streets. I knew it was about Rashida and the Country Fried Clique. Okay, so I knew that, Toya and all of them. So, ooh, baby. Hopefully, as soon as it comes back on, even though I won't be able to see it because I don't have Peacock. I don't have Bravo. I gotta wait till 5 o'clock in the morning. Why don't Peacock start showing their damn shows at 12 o'clock in the morning like other shows? It's the next day. Come on, Peacock. I pay enough for you to start showing your shows at midnight. But they get on to what's going to happen between Kay and SHEMEA. And this right here is what I'm waiting for, because I don't know where the breakdown came in on their friendship other than Kay mentioning the mama titty sitting up. So this is what I want to see. Come on in. That's going to be the end of that. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video, because sharing is caring. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chop them up. Deuces. Drop down in the comments and let me know, are you team B-side or are you team A-team? And A-team includes Portia as the top dog. B-side includes K. Michelle for now as the top dog, because it seems like she's trying to lean over there to the A-team, y'all.